Hotep Black Power, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Shaka Sankofa. Giving honor to the creator, the ancestors, my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, my father, my in-laws, my daughter, my grandchildren, all my relatives and everyone, my queen especially, and everyone that are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. What I wanted to talk to you all today, this is one of those days. I'm just returning back from a homegoing service for one of the elders in the community. Strong elder. Along with my father, fought in the Korean War and made his ascension. Peaceful homegoing service. So, and I want to discuss some things that we in the black community need to kind of be on top of prior to making our ascension. And not be afraid, because that's one of the least, this subject and topic that I'm about to discuss is one of the least topics talked about in the black community. And that's a will and testament. That when you make your ascension, you will not be a burden, number one, on other people. So have some type of insurance. Number one, have some type of insurance, and don't lie about it and say you got insurance, that everybody's covered and all this, because a lot of us lie. When I say us, I'm talking about the black community as a whole. A lot of us lie about that, and we don't have a will and testament. It doesn't take much. You can go online and get all of that situated, so people can be, everything can be situated when you make your ascension without any confusion, without people thinking they supposed to receive something, without people arguing and strifing and bickering about what they're supposed to get and who's this and who was the closest to this person, who done the most for this person and that person, when it's all unnecessary. Get your will and testament, get some type of insurance, even though if it's some popcorn bubblegum insurance, just something so you'll be all right. You can make your ascension in peace. And another thing I want to discuss is this, how the family dynamics, that the family dynamics and the nucleus of the family structure in the black community is so torn up, fucked up, ripped up, with no type of structure, with no type of love demonstrated among siblings and immediate family. Which is a damn shame. And everyone thinks that their family is the only family that's fucked up, and that everyone else's family has some type of order and unity and love, when that's not the case. And that's one of the reasons why we always say that everybody's doing okay and everybody's all right, and, to make it appear like everyone's all together, everyone is in unison and walking as a unit in terms of a family, when it's the total fucking opposite. You have siblings hating siblings. You have siblings jealous of siblings. You have parents that pick certain children as favorites and certain children as black sheeps, and certain children being disregarded. Certain children and siblings are used by others, because a lot of them have gotten to the point where they do anything to try to get acceptance from their own siblings. And I want to share something about myself. Being damn near raised by my sister, living with her for over 20 years, being in prison for well over a decade, coming out and becoming a scholar, a lecturer, a youth counselor, a youth specialist, a CAC counselor, addictions counselor, and have my own organization, created my own organization, legal organization, you know. And I say that to say that I basically did all this on my own. I didn't have the support, the family support, based on my beliefs, based on what I stood for, based on by me being the only male in the family that has been incarcerated, that has done time, that has been arrested, you know. And I found out later on in the years that created a lot of jealousy and animosity, because those who haven't been arrested or done some time envy and admire those who have. They admire the strength, but that admiration slowly turned into jealousy. You know, and I'm not ashamed to talk about my story. I was just discussing it with my queen, that it's no, you know, I don't hide anything about me to you all. You know, I rarely had visits from family members, from siblings. You know, rare. Visits were rare. Letters were rare. So I had to, you know, take care of myself and step up to the plate. You know, working 2 jobs in the penitentiary, you know, having to protect myself, you know, learning how to maim and torture and stab, you know, and put death-inflicting torture on another man. You know, those are the things, those are some of the requirements for your survival in the institutions. You know, so you know, my father passed while I was doing time, so I never got a chance to, for him to see me, you know, on the incline in terms of my growth and development, in terms of me being in a total different conscious spiritual mindset. So, and that bothered me for several years. But I say all these things to say that you can overcome all of your personal challenges, but you have to engulf your entire being and your energy into you. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about proving anything to anybody. You have to engulf yourself into yourself, and you and the Creator have to work out a spiritual deal where your best interest, in terms of staying on the path and a spiritual incline, following the Creator and the Creator's energy, understanding your plan, understanding your mission, being able to be patient, being able to persevere, being able to be resilient, being able to challenge, being able to confront, being able to stand up straight up as a man, understanding who you are, that you're no less of a man than the next man. That's all in your own mind. But you have to tap into your own energy and that God self that lies within you. And so you're going, you know, when you take the path of consciousness, you're going to be hated. You're going to be ridiculed, because it takes you far ahead of the average person in terms of knowledge. You know, and so a lot of people are going to envy your level of understanding, your portion of understanding. They're going to envy that, and they're going to be jealous of that, and they're going to try to condemn you for what you stand on. And so you cannot allow anyone to rock your foundation. Otherwise, you are under control. You are under the control of another individual's thoughts and plans that he or she may have for you, which are 9 times out of 10 negative. And so I enjoy doing what I'm doing as far as helping the youths, helping the gangbangers, feeding our disenfranchised, feeding the downtrodden, sitting down breaking bread with the homeless, with the bums, with the people who can't even see being alive tomorrow. You know, I break bread with those individuals because we all are the common people. And for you Negroes, stop trying to think that you are a cut above the rest of the people because you have worked for a cracker and you have acquired a few toys. Stop thinking that you are so above the average brother or sister out here, in which you are far below them, because you're using material items, you're using things to define who you are. Stop being, and I see a lot of mama boy ass niggas, you know, and that can be detrimental to you. That can make you soft. That can turn you into a cold puss ass nigga. When you're always calling your mother, when you're always still 30, 40, 50, and some 60-year-olds still sucking on their mother's titty. Still whining and crying to their mother. And see, those type of dudes don't have any type of connection or relationship with other men. You know, because you'll hear them say they like to be around a whole bunch of women, and you know, I don't want to be around men, I'm not gay and all this shit. No, that's just an excuse because you are afraid to be around real men for fear that they may see that bitch in you and call it out. Call you out on that motherfucking weak, faggoty ass energy that you got. So you rather lay up under a woman, and some of you become abusive to the woman, to these sisters, hitting on them, screaming on them, making them feel belittled, saying things where to make them feel so low where they'll fall under your control. And where are you leading them? You can't lead them nowhere because you sucking on your mother's tip. You haven't had any experiences and challenges to define who you are. You haven't been tried and tested. A lot of you have not been tried and tested. You know, because you're so much of a puss ass nigga. Your pubic hair is in your butt. You need to take that pubic hair from the behind, put the pubic hair in front where your dick is at, and stop being a puss ass fuck boy ass nigga. And that goes for anybody of color. Anybody of color, if it makes you mad and it makes you start talking about me, that means that what I'm saying is true about you. Because a real man gonna agree with this. A real man will. Real women will agree with it. Because a lot of these sisters are tired of babying you niggas up. Because you whine and bitch and cry all the motherfucking time. And that's based on you haven't been tried and tested. A lot of you have not been through any situations where your manhood is challenged or weighed to a degree. Because you don't feel that you will survive or pass the test. Because you've been so fuckified and pussified. Because just like a pimp, the average pimp is a bisexual. Anytime you beat women with sisters with coat hangers and all this, where my money at, bitch, and all this, being disrespectful to the queens.
All your music, no interruptions.
You know, that means that really, a pimp really wants somebody to do him like that. Take a coat hanger, another man, real man, take a coat hanger and whoop his motherfucking ass with it. Pop him on his naked black ass with it. See, if you look at a lot of things for what it really is, you can see how misled and misinformed you've been in terms of information and what you've seen on TV, what you've seen in documentaries about certain shit. You know, because some of you that play so hard, because you too hard, that means you're hiding something, because you're coating yourself. You got 103 tattoos on you, coating yourself up to make the appearance that you are this super thug, that you really about that life. But for real, you hiding all that and trying to put on the front by having a pistol and shooting a real man, because you are a puss nigga, and people can see that. And every time somebody sees that in you, you're either ready to take their life or you take their life, because you feel you can't afford to be exposed, because you under this illusion that you this hell of a motherfucking nigga, that you this hardcore motherfucker, when in fact you are the total opposite. See, a real man don't have to take another man's life, because he respects himself and he has respect for the other man, and allows him to live and be who he is, and understands that man may have a family just like you. Because a lot of you that do all this shooting, you never been in a fist fight. You scared to get you scared to get knuckles upside your motherfucking head. Because you a punk. You weak. Soft motherfucking nigga. And then when the motherfucking white man shows up, the police, the judge, you really turn into a skirt. You act like a woman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you supposed to be this hardcore motherfucker. You ain't, yes, sir, is not supposed to be a part of your vocabulary. Because it ain't when you dealing with people that look like you. Think about it. And for real, you know I'm right. I'm right. And a lot of you sisters are insecure as fuck. You know, when you grounded within yourself, you don't have to worry about losing your mate or none of that type of shit. Because the queen, if the queen does queen duties and step up to the plate and steps on a queen energy and a queen foundation, she has nothing to worry about or fear. But when her foundation is shaky from watching all these movies that Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels make about the black woman always being fucked around by the black man, then that energy has a tendency to change your thinking and to rock your foundation to some degree. Yeah, brothers and sisters. See, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I give it to you straight. No chaser. This is how you're supposed to have it. This is it's no other way with me. No other way. And mainly because I love my people, man. I love my black brothers and sisters. And if I love you and care for you and want the best for you, then when I see you fucking up or acting like a puss, or you sisters acting like men, I gotta check your motherfucking ass. It's just that simple. Stop being so fucking sensitive to words. Stop running from yourself. Stop holding so much animosity and hatred and jealousy towards your siblings. And see, that's why I got the picture of these brothers and sister up here. Because they stood for something. It was live or die for them. But they weren't going nowhere and they stood for something. What are you gonna stand for? What do you stand for? Hotep, Black Power.